What's good, y'all? It's your channel TFD coming back, and this right here is breaking news. Straight off the press, and you better believe it's heating up. The Connecticut Sun's head coach just broke his silence on the Caitlin Clark incident. And a few players also chimed in with their takes. For this one, y'all, we're going all the way up to Indiana because this just got personal. Let's get it. Let's go. First things first. OMG. That's all I have to say about this game. What we just witnessed from the Connecticut Sun. Disrespectful. Pure chaos. A complete mockery of the game. I'm talking no sportsmanship, no accountability. And the way they treated Caitlin Clark out there? Straight up foul. Honestly, this needs to be looked at, not just by the WNBA front office, but real investigators. Law enforcement even. That's how bad it looked. And where's Cathy Engelbert in all this? Because this needs her immediate attention. Now let's talk about the head coach. Coach Rasheed Mazine held his post-game press conference, and bruh, you're not going to believe what he said. He kicked things off with this. They found our characters, but lost our minds. Wait, what? Then he followed it up with, this playful quote attached for me is just disrespectful. To do that foul when you're winning by 17? Completely stupid. Clearly, he's aiming this at Sophie Cunningham. Like, bro, how is defending your teammates stupid? And then he doubled down, saying, I did not understand when you're winning the game by 17 points and you're doing this. It's just disrespectful. I don't know how Lindsay Allen and Jacy Sheldon got ejected either. They did nothing. Like what? Is he really pretending like nothing happened? Did he not see Clark get poked in the eye and shoved? Is he not watching the same game as the rest of us? And it's not just the coach. A couple of Sun players also gave their takes. And let's just say, they're doubling down too. But don't worry, we got the full footage and we're breaking it all down. The reactions, the body language, the attitude, everything. Because this isn't over.
Maybe I'd talk a little bit about, did it seem like that game just got physical at a certain point? That things kind of seemed like that they got out of hand? Or just what seemed like to you happened that things kind of got the way that they did?
Yeah, go ahead, start something.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it was a physical game tonight. I think when things aren't managed well to begin with, that it tends to get out of hand, and that's what happened. That's what was shown tonight. So I think just it goes with managing both teams on the court, managing calls and fouls, and making sure that things aren't just added fuel to the fire throughout the game to where we have situations like this happen.
Do you guys have to talk amongst yourselves a little bit as a team? And I say this, obviously I was watching remotely, but there was a lot of criticism that the officials didn't really take control of things the way they should. Do you guys have to then talk to each other on the sidelines almost to say how you're going to handle it when to be frank, it just doesn't seem like it's being handled on the court the way that it needs to be?
Yeah, we can only talk so much though. At the end of the day, it's them making the calls and them officiating the game the right way. So, I mean, this isn't the first game that this has happened. You can look over the course of the games in the league and see just how much more physical it is this year when things aren't getting called and when things are just blown out of proportion like that. So I think just managing, like I said, managing the games, managing the calls, because we're all competitors. So we're all going hard every single night. And when you're not managing the game properly, this is what happens.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
I mean, I feel like a lot of stuff is escalating throughout the game, and that's what happens when you don't make the proper calls or like officiate the game, manage it the right way. And it's not the first time it's happened. I mean, we've seen it on our end throughout our games this season. You can tune into another game and see it too. So, like I said, it's all over the league. But I mean, tonight, it just happened to be us in that moment.
And at some point, you have to defend yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have the right to defend yourself when stuff is being happened to you. So I think we have to take the steps necessary.
I spoke about this earlier, and Correlation stated this. She said, Cathy is a disgrace if she doesn't address the WNBA ref problem. What happened tonight is because they failed to protect players and take control of the game. There needs to be a change. There's got to be a change, man. There has to be a change. At some point, Cathy Engelbert's got to take responsibility for this league as the commissioner. Like, seriously, what we're witnessing from these refs, a catastrophe, a straight-up disaster. No consistency, no accountability, just chaos every night. And Caitlin Clark getting a technical foul after she got poked in the eye and shoved to the floor. That's some of the wildest buffoonery I've seen in a long time. How does that happen? You get hit, you get dropped, and you get the tech? Make it make sense, bro. This is crazy work. Crazy work. Absolutely insane. And let me tell you, Jacy Sheldon got a flagrant one, sure. But Jacy and Marina Mabrey should have both been ejected. No question. No debate. You don't just let stuff like that slide. That sends a message. And the message is Caitlin, don't get protected. And that's a problem. Hold up. We got updates coming in. Caitlin Clark is speaking right now. Let's tap into what she's saying, because this just got even deeper.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys came for basketball.
Yeah,
Let's talk about basketball. Yeah. Come on now.
What do you think of just how you all were able to pull in the second half, Caitlin, in particular?
We're going to the Commissioner Cup Championship.
Let's go!
That's pretty exciting. Y'all want to talk about that? Let's talk about that. At the end of the day, I'm here to play basketball, and that's my job. That's what I'm going to do. I was excited. Honestly, the review took too long for me. I wanted to get playing basketball again, and that's exactly what I did the rest of the third quarter. I made all 3 free throws, and then it was a tough 3. I was excited about a 3, and honestly, I got to give our crowd a lot of credit, too. I thought they were tremendous. They were cheering for us. They had our back, and I'm a passionate player, but at the end of the day, I'm here to play basketball, and that's what it is, and my game's going to talk, and that's all that really matters, and I love this game, and I'm going to give it everything I have, so I think that's what competitors do. You just step right back up to the challenge.
There wasn't an explanation for the tech that she got. I think it was pretty obvious that stuff was brewing, right? When the officials don't get control of the ball game, when they allow that stuff to happen, and it's been happening all season long. All season long. It's not just this game. It's been happening all season long. This is what happens, right? This is what happens. You've got competitive women who are the best in the world at what they do, right? And when you allow them to play physical and you allow these things to happen, they're going to compete. And they're going to have their teammates' backs. It's exactly what you expect, right? Out of fierce competition. So I started talking to the officials in the first quarter, and we knew this was going to happen. You could tell it was going to happen. So they got to get control of it. They got to be better. They got to be better.
10-point lead for the Fever. Midway point, third quarter. Sheldon all over Clark. And they get into it a bit here. Lexi Hall now gets in Sheldon's face. Caitlin Clark hits the deck. Big Ten against Big Ten. Ohio State and Iowa. Both in the same draft class last year.
It is getting spicy in Indiana. And part of that...
Again, Clark got a tech. Charles got a tech. Mabrey got a tech. The officials said that the Clark and Charles technicals will wipe out.
The biggest issue for Connecticut, just 40 minutes of basketball.